A very good day to the panel judges. First, please allow me to introduce the team members of the movement. I'm the team leader and project manager, Kevin Chua. Kevin is our prototype developer. Alia Hana is our UI UX designer. And lastly, Jejin is our business and market analyst. Today, our team is going to talk about our idea for Alibaba Get Challenge. We have discovered two problems that are faced by the society during this COVID-19 period. One of them is unemployment. Malaysia's unemployment rate has increased to 3.9%, which is the highest in a decade. It has also greatly affected the mute and deaf community, causing them to be financially and socially unstable. Next problem is disconnectivity. Due to MCO, people are disconnected from one another. This has increased anxiety amongst the mute and deaf community as it worsens the communication barrier issue. Therefore, to solve these problems, our team has come up with a solution, which is the sign language education mobile app called the Signify. First is the pre-existing sign language skills, which allow people to use their internal skills to create external opportunities. Secondly is the quality education of our app, revolutionizes learning for the mute and deaf community. Our app also helps in empowerment by equipping confidence and determination. Besides, we encourage people to explore to new horizons for self-development. Our app also solves unemployment by creating new job screens for the non-verbal community. Lastly, Signify gathers the community for meaningful relationships. Now I'll pass it to Kevin.
Thanks, Karen. So on our road towards the market, the most obvious thing to do is to define our target audience by exploring rough ideas of what we want to achieve and unearth the needs of people. We can then outline target groups more specifically, and through interviews and surveys, we will collect customer personas and extract insights from them. Based on the information that we have gathered, we could narrow down the best channels to use. For instance, we had discovered that most people would be attracted to social media and internet trends. Some channels that we have decided on are content or search engine marketing, as well as social and display ads. Knowing that allows us to strategize the approach we take to market our product, like aiming for viral contents, performing targeted advertising, or securing brand partnerships to boost our publicity. Of course, to pique user interest, we need a solid, enticing deal to attract any users at all, given the current circumstances. So limited time free subscriptions or access to premium services are some ideas that we will be using to land a strong and good first impression. After that comes customer conversion, where the goal here is to convert their curiosity into actual devotion and commitment to our product. And to achieve that, we will ensure engaging and interesting user experience from the get-go. Lastly comes the need to optimize our costs and processes. And of course, we would need to have measured our progress against the key performance indicators, KPIs. For example, for client acquisition rates, existing client management, customer lifetime value, positive and negative reply rates. As can be seen from the numbers that we had garnered from various credible sources, the nonverbal community may seem to be very minute, you may say. But as the numbers also show, the number of people using Malaysian Sign Language in our country exceeds that of the number of people in the community itself. And that says a lot about the potential of our app reaching a wider audience. And not to mention, our intention was to design a solution for unemployment, especially but not limited to the nonverbal group. We encourage the masses to equip themselves with this handy skill and strive to pass that knowledge on to others, creating a very sustainable ecosystem. Now, looking at our competitors, these apps besides Signify are examples of software out there which revolves around the theme of education of sign languages. However, one major distinction between ours and theirs is the lack of employment and communication features. We advocate for a supportive community built on the willingness to spread and receive knowledge. We also include state-of-the-art AI algorithms to solve a common problem of unpreparedness among the non-native speakers of sign languages. With this, they could prepare themselves through conversing in sign language with our AI chatbot in a real-time environment to get a hang of holding actual conversations. Overall, we preserve the good qualities of these apps and build upon them with our own twists and improvements. Not to mention, the projects revolving the theme of sign languages in Malaysia is not at all common, and these are examples from various countries from across the globe as well, not within our country. And with that, I will pass the floor to Alia.
All right, thank you, Kevin. So I'll be talking about the key partners that we would need to start up our product, Signify. So first off, to develop our app, we would need app administrators, UI designers, programmers, and also a project manager. Also, next, we would need to seek out influencers as a partner to put us out more in the market. And of course, our target audience, the users. Last but not least, we will need investors such as Magic, Cradle, YMCA, and Malaysian Federation of Deaf. Lastly, also Starbucks. You might be thinking, why Starbucks? To give you more insight, they actually made an initiative to increase employment in the deaf community. There's actually a branch in Malaysia where the whole store is managed by a non-verbal group. Moving on, I'll be talking about the key activities, which are separated into 3 segments. Before sales, we would need a lot of research and development to study customer needs through interviews and the use of customer personas. We also need alpha and beta testing of our application before releasing it to the public. During sales, we will market our app through multiple mediums, be it physical or social media. We will push new features into our app during this time as well, which can increase users. Next, data analytics to further improve our app. And lastly, roll out attractive promotions to attract users. After sales, we would continue maintaining and supporting the app and its users, think about future expansion of our app, and continue building and maintaining relationships with our users. Also, we would enhance our app for better UI and UX. Moving on, I'll be talking about the key resources. We would need strong affiliations and stakeholders who believe in the same cause and goal to move forward with Signify. Secondly, we would need more statistics and information about the non-verbal community, a database to store users' information and sign language resources, and last but not least, a secure site for all the sensitive information such as payment information. That's all from me. I will pass it to Karen.
Thank you, Alia. For the value proposition, our app users can be categorized to mentor and student. For the mentors, our app helps in generating income and the ease of getting students. Whereas for the students, they'll be able to get one-to-one education on sign language, whether it's from a human mentor or AI mentor. Our app also offers a lower cost and an e-certificate will be given to them upon course completion. For both the mentor and student, our app helps them in managing their schedules and transactions, and lastly, allowing them to meet new people. Moving on to the customer relationships. For new relationships, we are to establish stable income to people who are unemployed and provide app tutorials for new users. Next is the build and maintain relationship stage. We will make sure that we tend to users' inquiries and never show indifference to users. We will also send regular newsletters through emails and push notifications. Lastly is the strengthen relationship stage, where preparations for future enhancements will take place to keep users interested and engaged in our app. We will consistently receive users' feedback and take actions. It is also important for us to converse in users' language to avoid misunderstandings. Now let's take a look at the 6 channels for our app. First of all is the word of mouth. It can be social users or even influencers. Next is physical advertising, where we promote our app to special needs schools and societies. We will also have digital advertisements. Besides, we will also make our app discoverable on search engines. Sending emails and pushing notifications are also among our 6 channels. Now I'll pass it to Georgine to talk about customer persona.
Thank you, Karen. So I'm going to talk about the customer persona. We actually did interviews for both groups, which are non-verbal group and verbal group. For non-verbal group, their goals are mainly to be more fluent in sign languages and to promote sign languages to people surrounding them and communicate more effectively with others. Their challenges is hard to communicate with the verbal groups as they can only use simple gestures and words to communicate. For their biggest concern is the unwillingness of others to accept her for jobs, and people are hesitant to approach her. For the verbal group, the goals for verbal group is to be able to communicate with the non-verbal group by learning sign language. The challenges of verbal group is the communication between them and non-verbal group. For their biggest concern is afraid of not conveying their message accurately, as they can only use simple gestures and words to communicate. Next, I'm going to talk about the cost structure. We are spending on human resource, product, asset, and prepayment. And it will spend a total of 39,700 ringgit. And we are going to get investment from our external capital for 150,000. Next, and lastly, I will talk about the revenue streams. We will get the subscription fee from our packages. The packages is based on the number of dialects per month. And thank you for listening.